Hello, and welcome to episode 558 of Prog Review. And today I'm talking about Laurie Anderson's second album, Mr. Heartbreak, released originally back in 1984, February 14th, 1984, Valentine's Day. Oh, almost coming up to that, aren't we? It's not prog. Well, if Stephen Wilson could be prog, so can Laurie Anderson. More prog, in fact. Definitely more prog. Avant-garde, maybe. Yeah, avant-garde, electronica. Oh, there's so many elements to this. However, if you've followed the first album, if you've had Big Science, you know Big Science was good. 2 years later, this comes along, and it's it comes at a completely different tangent. Whoa, it's a very different record. Similar, but different. Mainly in the production and arrangements that are used on this. Now, when I first came across this, I bought Big Science and Mr. Heartbreak together because there was one of those, 2 for £15 offers on an hour price at Selborne Walk in Walthamstow back in the day. And that would have been regarded as a bargain, I think, because this is when CDs were a new thing. So I'm trying to think, it would have been about 85-ish, 86-ish, possibly. Sounds about right. So I hear them both back to back. I hear Big Science, and it's like, oh wow, and then I hear this one. And although the funny thing is that even though this is more mainstream in its outlook, I had a harder time getting into it. I really did. I had a real hard time the bits of it I like, and bits of it I'm not too keen on back then. But I've kind of grown to love it, if you know what I mean. Starts with Sharky's Day, and it's 7 minutes 41 of it's a little vignette of American life. Again, Laurie Anderson is about studying, Americana, but in her own little way. And yeah, it's a favourite of mine. You know, the sun comes up like a big bald head. I even say that to the kids now. You know, I say, the sun's coming up like a big bald head. It's just, it's in my language. It's in my language. The same with William S. Burroughs' Sharky's Night as well, but we'll get to that. And of course, it was this album that introduced me to certain Mr. A. Ballou. True. Because Adrian Ballou plays guitar on some of this, and plays on Sharky's Day, and it's a very strange, fizzy. Again, I wasn't sure if it was guitar at the time, you know, because it doesn't sound like the guitar. It sounds quite unearthly. But yeah, so this brings Adrian Ballou into my sphere of experience before King Crimson, I might add. So this is me going, oh right, and so when I come to King Crimson, I see it's Adrian Ballou, and Adrian Ballou, and all the, you know, you connect the dots. You know, you pick up the pieces, you connect the dots. Yeah, that is the dog breathing heavily in the background there. You're awake, aren't you? Can you stop breathing so heavy? It sounds like you've got asthma. It's very off-putting, you know. I much prefer the old dog. Even though he was old, he didn't make as much noise. So yeah, it's a really good opener to the song, even though it's long. It's proggy. I think it's proggy. This is followed up by Langue d'amour. It's French title. It means language of love. The very interesting thing about this is some of the songs, in fact quite a few of the songs, I think in this one, Kokoku, Blue Lagoon, they're very dreamlike feel to them, as if they are, you know, relating to a dream, and Langue d'amour is one of them. Again, took me a long time to get into. Gravity's Angel, which is nicked from Thomas Pynchon's Gravity's Rainbow. She wanted to write a musical based on the book, and Thomas Pynchon said, fine, as long as you do it using the banjo. And so she went, well, fuck that, I'm just gonna do I'm just going to nick your title. And Peter Gabriel appears for the first time. He is on this. We'll get to that on the second side, but he provides backing vocals. Again, one of the aspects of this record is the production. It is very 1980s in the fact there are early sampling, vocoders, kind of electronic instruments, but again, some of the production choices, seem a bit old-fashioned now in retrospect, and none some more on Gravity's Angel. So we turn over and we have another long piece called Cockacoo, and again very dreamlike. There's lots of, again, on this, very many allusions to tropical islands, and travelling and the sea and stuff, and you get a lot of that on this record. He said, pointing to trying to identify the palm tree. It's the wrong way round. When I see it there, I point to that, but I think I'm pointing to that because I'm looking at that. Shouldn't look at that. Should look at that. So yeah, there's lots of imagery reused, and again, some of the imagery from Big Science seems to be leaking into this. You have mentions of Home of the Brave. Skipping forward, the track Blue Lagoon mentions somebody recuperating, and it sounds like can I sign your casts, that bit section on there equals X. There's there's an overlap here. So yeah, Coca-Cola is very, very dreamlike as well. Also references to biblical references, the snake, tree of knowledge. Oh, deep stuff. So anyway, we get to Excellent Birds, which is a collaboration with Peter Gabriel. Also appears on his album So, in a slightly reworked version. Again, the bass on this, a lot of the bass playing is done by the excellent Bill Laswell. On here we also have Nile Rodgers, of course, playing the guitar. That's how you get that amazing percussive guitar sound. It's again Mr. Rogers doing it. Let's dance. And it's, Excellent Birds is always a favourite of mine. Not so keen on this arrangement. It's interesting, it's fun, but I do prefer the Gabriel version because, again, familiarity in that. Blue Lagoon, again, is someone, recuperating. It's very dreamlike, getting away from it all, and smushes imagery from two of my favourite things: The Tempest by old Willie Shakespeare, Big Willie style himself, and the other Big Willie, Moby Dick. See what I did there? She smushes the two literary creations together and references it in Blue Lagoon, which is it was a big thrill. Still is a big thrill for me. Again, very, very, very dream-like in its approach. And it finally finishes. At last, it finishes with Sharky's Night. Sharky's Day and Sharky's Night are the bookends. They're the bread in which the album sits. Bad analogy. And William S. Burroughs does the vocals. He of the Naked Lunch fame. I'm trying to think. I think, when I heard this, I had no idea who William S. Burroughs was. So I just thought, that's an interesting choice of vocalist. But I loved his delivery in it. A long time no see, Kimosabi. You pick up the pieces, you join the dots. And I love it. It's just it's a flip side to Sharky's Day, compressed. White Courtesy Telephone Please, which took, again, a cultural reference that took me a long time to figure out. Well, not a long time. I had to find out what a White Courtesy telephone was. It's at the airport, No? Okay, just me then. I don't think you get them now, do you? You used to have them. You'd hear it over the tannoy. I think, yeah, that's it. You'd hear someone say, Mr. Smith, would you please go to the White Courtesy telephone for a message? That was something from I guess it's from the 70s and 80s. So yeah, like I say, it's a short album. You couldn't get two different records. You couldn't get Big Science and Mr. Heartbreak are just two completely different albums, similar but different, you know, very strange, you know. And like I said, it was a really good thing for me to get both of the albums back to back, because it proved that an artist could be, you know, radically, you know, because, well, you know, you buy a Queen album or a Beatles album or whatever, and they're not that different, but from, you know, one album to the other, it is like night and day, especially in terms of the production. I think Big Science still sounds fresh today. It doesn't sound dated, whereas Mr. Heartbreak does. So yeah, I mean, in terms of a rating, let me think. It's not a perfect album, because there is some bits on it I'm not a big fan of, like Lang d'Amour and Kokoku. I'm not a great fan of that. I think they go on too long. I think they're, you know, but I do love Sharky's Day and Excellent Birds. So I'm going to give this a very fair and even 3.5 Gravity's Angels out of 5. That's 3.5 Gravity's Angels out of 5. Thank you for watching. I've been talking about Mr. Heartbreak, the second album by Laurie Anderson. There you go. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully it's been enlightening. So only one more thing to say, and that is prog on.